screen there. And if you can't, drop a live chat. Da, da, da. All right, guys, I'm trying to look for my my live chat again. A little new to this, so bear with me for a minute. All right, I can't figure it out, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. If anyone's in here, drop a little wave emoji or something, so I know you guys are watching. All right, so I'll start off with Nasdaq Futures right now. It looks like they're up a 1/4%. All right, where we left off last week is pretty much in the same place where I told you guys it would be. We had this giant candle on January 24th. All right, this one right here, first one here. So that's the top of the range, bottom of the range, and we've pretty much been in there for the whole week. And I was fully expecting that to happen from my point of view. And the next thing I was watching during the week was like a tightening range that was going on. On Friday, I said we had like this triangle, kind of triangle pattern going on, right? So something like this. And I was somewhat right. I mentioned that you guys could buy close to the top and buy puts close to the top, buy calls close to the bottom, and that mostly worked except for on I believe this is Friday the 28th. Yeah, the 28th. It did dip below, right? But we kind of held this previous low from January 26th. So we had that low. So it would have been a good idea to buy some calls down here last week. You know, that low held. It did break, but no follow through. Had some good bear action in the morning. And overall, guys, big volatility both ways. So this has been pretty predictable. Um, Playing the top of these ranges and the bottom of these ranges for the opposite direction. But I think that's going to end this week, either Monday, Tuesday, Tuesday for sure. I don't know about tomorrow, but we'll see. And then this kind of corresponds to this move that we saw on. Whoa, what is this? Delete that. Sorry, guys. So this move with the Nasdaq corresponds to what we were seeing. Okay, 1 hour, and then I think we had Tesla earnings on the 27th. Okay, so let me go back and look at Apple. So Apple was pretty much controlling what was going on with the market. So what I'm trying to say. So Apple earnings was on the 27th. Okay, so we had this huge move up after hours. And if you guys remember from that video from the previous week, I said use your Fib retracement and try to catch a move. at this point. I said ideally the 0.38, if not the 0.5, and then it ended up being the 618. So there was like a $2 variance from where it could have happened, right? So anywhere in here, anywhere in this range would have been a good place to buy right here, 162 to 164, and it did make a pretty monster move to the upside, $8 move. But now, so that's kind of what happened with the Nasdaq. We went down in the morning with Apple, right? This is where is this? January 28th, and then this is also January 28th. So let's see the Nasdaq. So here's January 28th. So from here on is January 28th. So from here, so we made this same move down with the Nasdaq, and I think this was like the Apple higher low, 1 hour higher low, and then we just continued up to the upside. So you guys could have just paid attention to Apple. Is kind of what I did. And now I think Apple is still going to be dictating the market, but there's going to be some help because we have earnings from like Google, AMD, and all of those companies. So Apple, where are we with Apple? We've got our 1 hour uptrend, 1 hour. Okay, and we want to see this move continue up, but the next time this consolidates is going to consolidate on the 1 day. So let's take a look at what level we need to get to on the 1 day. All right, so we got those. Got those there. This fib level is not relevant. See, we already bounced past the 618. So that's not really relevant anymore. We broke this resistance on the 1 hour. So we broke 1, 2, about to break 3 hour resistances on the 1 hour. So let's take a look at the 1 day, where the 1 day resistance is. So 1 day resistance is all the way up at 177. So I fully expect it to get rejected before that, or there, or right at it. Okay, 100%. It's almost a guarantee. So this is going to come up in some way, shape, or form, and then it needs to form a 1 day low. So if you guys see Apple, going down crazy, don't panic. That's what we're looking at. 1 day uptrend, 1 day chart uptrend. Okay. So we need it to make a low. Wherever this move ends up topping out, then we go back to our fib, right? Let's say it topped out right there, which I don't think it'll top out here. But we're looking for a bounce, ideally at the 0.38. But since Apple's pretty strong, it can go up to the 618, I think, to create that bounce. All right, so we're gonna be looking at that for Apple for continuation. There was also a little pattern that I'm seeing here on the 1 hour that has me pumping the brakes a little bit on this one. So we had our 1 hour trend change. Let's see if I can get this clearly here. So the 1 hour trend change happened maybe right around after this. So we've got something like this going on with the rising wedge kind of pattern. So we'll see tomorrow. If this rejects from this 171, then that means we're consolidating for that 1 day one day chart consolidation, right? To look for that one day higher low on the daily. All right, guys. But if it obviously if it breaks, then we're continuing a little more, but we're still looking for that one day continuation. We're looking for this 1 hour on the 1 hour chart. We're looking for this to break down, go up here, do a double top or something, and then we start our daily consolidation. So that's what I'm looking for on Apple, and honestly, the whole market is probably going to follow that same thing. But as of right now, uh, the Nasdaq is a little weaker than Apple, right? Because you see Apple already broke out of this tightening range. Apple's like way up here, already broke. It already broke this one, and now it's heading towards this one up here, right? Already broke this, and it's heading up towards this range up here. If it were on the same, scale. So that's what I'm seeing there. Apple's QQQ leader right now. Everything else is garbage in the dumpster. All right. So with QQQ, if we get a break, then we're looking at ideally the same thing as Apple, right? We're looking for that 1 hour, 1 day, 1 day break, right? Or 1 hour break first, and then we're looking for that daily consolidation. So we're looking for a 1 hour break on the 1 hour chart, and then once that move tops out, we're looking for the 1 day bounce. Try to catch that bounce with the fib. If you missed out down here at the bottom, no problem. You can still fish a good opportunity down there if we are going up. That's the big question, right? We still have a lot of things out there, scenarios where we can. This is still weak, guys, super weak. There's a lot of scenarios that are going on with interest rates. Maybe interest rates are going up half a percent versus a quarter, which would be bad for the stock market. There's that Russia war thing, the thing with the Evergrande, the Chinese real estate company. There's a lot of things that they can make the markets go bad, right? So still be cautious out there. Never, a lot of people are like, "Oh, we got the bottom down here." Well, you still got a long way to go on the 1 day. Even if this were to break out of this range, uh, this could still come down this way, right? Um, but we'll see. It's going to depend on earnings. So that's what I'm looking at on the Nasdaq. We need that 1 hour break. The other thing that has me cautious on the Nasdaq is this possibility. We're on the 4 hour, looks better. All right, the possibility. We've got like this little, section here, and it did a fake breakout there. So that would be your head. And then if this doesn't break over that red line, that'll be like a small head and shoulder pattern to be looking out for. But we'll see tomorrow. I think tomorrow we'll get a definite answer on which direction we're going, whether it's up or down. If we can break through this, we're going up in the short term. And if it doesn't, I think we're going down. All right, guys. But we'll see. Some of the plays that I have for next week. I was looking at Robinhood. So with Robinhood, what happened was we had this huge gap down on a bad earnings, right? But if you guys remember the video that I posted on this a couple days ago, I said this is pretty much beat up on every time frame, right? It was down here, down in the 20 RSI, and we got a good bounce, right? The bulls brought it back pre-market, bounced up, and now we're hitting this resistance line. I believe this is a resistance line. Let's see. Actually, I think it's a support line. Let's see. I mean, the resistance line is up here for sure, on the 1 hour at 1358. And what I mentioned in that last video was it would be nice if this could come up here, had a huge drop, and if it could come down and, reject from there, and then we'll catch it down, back down, which was perfect on Friday, in my opinion. I would be definitely trying to catch puts on this one. So we'll see tomorrow. This is the first level right here. So see, this was a former support. Now it's resistance. So check it out. That was support there, and then now it's the resistance. It's acting as resistance there, and then tomorrow, if we start rejecting from there, I would buy puts, in my opinion. And also got to be careful. Like this is going like this right now, and maybe it'll start going down and break up. So it could fake you out there. So keep a nice stop at 177. You could always, try again at 1350. But what I'm seeing here, guys, is definitely if it breaks this level down here. So right now, this is the support that I'm seeing here, 1193. So if it breaks, so let's say it rejects, and then it breaks this level, that's for sure a good indicator that this one's going to go down. So this is one that I got on my list for tomorrow and for next week. Let's see, targets on this would be this 970, 978. And then I had other levels, I think, that I drew out. But initially, that's going to be your first one, 990, 994, and then 713. All right, so these fib levels, yeah, I don't know if these are actually legit, but we'll see. These are some that I drew, like an inverse fib. I don't know, it's something I'm trying out. Little theory of mine. Draw it up to the last breakout point because this is a new stock, so it doesn't have any price action down here. So I was trying to find a good, guide for that. But $7 is where I'm thinking it might stop the bleeding. And obviously this could also go the other way, guys, because on the daily, the RSI is down in 30, right? But we do know it can go a lot lower. You see down here it went to where is this? Can't really see what that is, but it's 24 or something. But we did cool it off nicely back up to 30, but we'll see. And yeah, I'm not really seeing a good reversal pattern on this, right? It's just going straight moonshot up. So that's not good ever for a stock. It needs to, I guess this little green line could be the reversal, but I don't know, not too confident on that. It still needs to confirm a daily trend change, right? Still needs to, we have a low here, still needs to do this, right? To continue up a good move to the upside. But I don't like Robinhood. Robinhood's pretty terrible company in my opinion. So let's go to my next one that I was looking at for tomorrow. Let's see. Why is this over there? So I'm looking at earnings plays for tomorrow or Wednesday. So tomorrow I don't really have nothing on the Monday list. All these companies I don't really know what they do, what they are, or anything like that. But on Tuesday we have AMD after close, PayPal, Alphabet, GM, and Microstrategy and Starbucks. I'll be going over AMD, Google, PayPal, and MicroStrategy for Tuesday or Wednesday, right? So let's go over, let's see what I got first on the list. MicroStrategy. So this one might be an easy one. Um, MicroStrategy is pretty much Bitcoin mining. So they have a bunch of Bitcoin and nothing much else, guys. Like all they have is Bitcoin. So you see this is reflected in their price right now. Bitcoin has been going down ever since they were like 60,000. So they got nothing much going on right now. The bigger picture thing is they broke this uptrend line, bearish, okay? And ever since then, we've had one, two, I guess this was a mini one, three, one, two, three, four bear flags, right? They have all broken to the downside. And now what we're getting is this level down here that broke on Friday, but there was no follow through. All right. So I'm not sure what the earnings will be like, but I'm guessing it's going to be horrible, horrible earnings because if all they do is mine Bitcoin and just have Bitcoin, like, I don't know, are they day trading it? Maybe they could make money that way. I have no idea. But I'm guessing this is going to be a horrible earnings, guys. Let's see what their projection is real quick. Projection is earnings per share 89 cents. All right, so I don't really know, if that's reasonable or not, but let's see what the chart can tell us. So on the 1 day we broke with no follow through. All right, so that's a point in the favor of the bulls. All right, on the 1 hour, we've got this. We got a low here, low here. That's about it. So we're gonna see tomorrow if this level can hold. Let's see this level right here, 341. If we can't hold that level, then that means for sure we're going down. But let me look at a couple other more time frames. So let's mark this red resistance. Let's take a look at the 4 hour, see what that's telling us. So 4 hour doesn't really tell us much, but you see how the 4 hour resistance is way up here. Same as the daily, I guess. Let's see if we can find a pattern we can play off of for tomorrow. 5 minutes. See, this is really choppy. It's not really traded that much. So yeah, that's the only level we have for right now, 30-minute, and then we have another level here around 357. So we could see what happens around this level, or all right, so you see guys how this level here, 341, that's almost perfect, right on the money. 341 at corresponds with the 0.38. So ideally what we would want to see is it reject right here and continue to the downside. So pay attention to this 341 level if you guys want to play this one. I feel like this one might be good for some puts. I don't really like it for calls. Even if it goes up, I'm not interested in calls at all. And then we also have the 618 up here. So if it breaks this, then maybe it'll head up higher before earnings. But I think ideally for a bearish move to happen would reject right there and head down. But we'll see what happens tomorrow with this one. Bearish on Microstrategy. All right, so PayPal. PayPal, pretty much like the rest of the market. Rest of the market has something like this going on. Bear flag kind of a pattern. And tomorrow we're gonna see what goes on with that, right? So for tomorrow, the level that we're watching for is definitely this one here, pre-market. I mean after market hours level 163.69. If we can get over that, then we can expect the move to continue up. Currently, let's see what time frame we're on. Which time frame we're looking at, and what I mean by which time frame we're looking at is which time frame hasn't broken its uptrending pattern, right? So 5 minute seems like we're on the 5 minute. You guys see why? So here's our low, another low, low. This one didn't break the last low. And then right here, I think we kind of lose in the 5 minute. So two levels to play off of for the morning for me would be a confirmation of this break. You know, it got close to breaking it, but not really. Didn't really break it. All right, so we're still on a 5 minute uptrend. When you turn on your, if you're trading this one, you turn on your 5 minute chart on PayPal and just pay attention to see if it breaks this level. All right. So for earnings, what I'm looking at is pretty much this wedge, right? If we have a good earnings and this comes up here and rejects, then I'm looking for some puts possibly. Depends on how good or bad the earnings is or whatever. And if this just straight down, uh, so let's say tomorrow in the day this goes up here, I'd be interested in some puts. Um, but you also got to keep in mind there's other companies like similar like Visa that had a good earnings that could create this cause this to go up. So actually, I wouldn't be interested in puts, but I'd be interested in playing the reaction, I think. Um, so we'll see what happens with these guys. But for tomorrow, we're keeping an eye on this range since earnings is all the way on Tuesday. You know, anything could happen with this. It's going to depend on the market, I think. We're on a 5 minute uptrend and we're looking for the 5 minute trend to break, you know, continue or break. This green line would be the break. And then we'll zoom out to the 1 hour and, you know, find another. How does that do that? Another higher low compared to this last one. Or actually, wait, with the 1 hour, sorry. We would be looking for another higher low compared to this one down here. So somewhere right here. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at for PayPal. Break of this range, and then we'll go from there. Google. This one I'm pretty confident that it would be a bullish earnings, but I don't know. This says February 1st. Yeah, that's Tuesday. And same thing with this one, guys. We are on a downtrend and we're creating a bull flag, but the bull flag on this one is all the way up to the 0.5 whereas other names are, between the 0.5 and the 0.38. Fib levels. So for this one, we're on a 1 hour uptrend. So we've got our low, higher low, and then ideally we would want to see another low and proceed upward that way. But let's zoom in a little bit to see what else is going on with this. Anything that we can play off of for tomorrow. Yeah, not really seeing much on this one. It's kind of gonna gap up if this continues. So just keep an eye on that, I guess. For Google, if it gaps up, we'll mark this gap spot right here, 266. All right, 2,666. All right, so if this gaps up in the morning, all right, we're looking for a 1 hour higher low, so that could be an easy play, right? If it opens up here, catch some puts down to this level once it tops out on the 1 minute. This one, another one, guys, that's, not much action there on the 1 minute, kind of hard to see, but maybe the 5 minute would give you, if it looks something like this, you can catch a 5 minute or even a 1 minute, rejections like here, right? Had a little double top. Oops, keep doing that. So like here, right around this range, you see I had a little double top at the top, little double top, and then it came down. So look for that tomorrow to happen tomorrow, I think. Or, I mean, in my opinion, it's better to wait for this gap fill to happen and catch an upward move than puts on Google, in my opinion. But that's what I'm looking for tomorrow on that one. Apple, AMD. So AMD is pretty interesting because Jim Cramer, the guy from MSNBC, he commented that he thinks this one's going up to the moon, or at least he's bullish or whatever. And that guy's always wrong. So everybody buy puts on this one for sure. No, I'm just kidding. So what we're looking at for this one is this has a major support right at 99.50. All this buying here was a previous consolidation phase support, and then it broke up, right? And right now we're bouncing right off of that level. All right, but right away what I'm seeing here on the 1 day, so there's a gap down right here. So that's one thing to note. Gap at 118, but the next daily level to get over is 117. So we can expect, well, let's look at the 1 hour again. So we're on an uptrend for sure. I would expect this to continue up. Yeah, I can say that pretty confidently. Expect this to continue up. It's already kind of gapping up. Looks like if the futures open green, it'll gap up. So you could either play two things on this one. It's not the gap fill. Gap fill there if it gaps up, and gap fill there. So depends on how high it opens up. It could gap fill down to here again at some point. So that's one thing to be aware of. So we're on the 1 hour time frame, and then the other thing to be aware of on the 1 hour time frame is right here at 112. There's a resistance. There's going to be a resistance there. And then let's just see. Let's just see the health of this move. All right, I'm gonna guess this is still under the 0.38. All right, still at the 0.38. Let's go back to the 1 hour. VORNGO. What is VORNGO.NGO? Is that crypto? I don't really look at crypto, guys. I do, but it's a Russian scam, guys. 100%. So yeah, we're right around the 0.382. So maybe keep an eye out for 108, 106. Maybe a rejection there. Or on the other hand, right, this might come back down here and create another low. So try to catch a move up to these targets, 106, 108, and 110. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with earnings. This one's kind of had a mixed bag, guys. Mixed bags, meaning sometimes earnings is good, sometimes it's bad. So definitely I wouldn't advise to play earnings on this one. Maybe Google. I'm looking to buy some shares of Google. Not really options, because options has, the implied volatility is high. You can just get crushed on that alone if it doesn't really move. So I'm looking to buy shares on Google. On AMD, I'd be interested in a move to the upside if this comes back and retraces for me. Retraces and creates a low down here somewhere around 103, 104, maybe even 105 gap fill. That's what I'm looking to play for Monday, Tuesday, and then I would be out of a position. I wouldn't play earnings. Do you trade full time? I do not trade right now. I'm not trading full time. Kind of trading full time. But I have another job, which isn't too demanding right now. So that's why I'm kind of saying that I'm trading full time. So I've kind of been trading full time for a couple months, is the answer. All right, another interesting one is Tesla. Yeah, somewhere in the chat, in the live chat, you guys type up how long, if you guys trade full time, and how long you guys have been trading, full time or part time, or just for fun or whatever. See my live chat that I'm looking at, it says only one person is in there, so I thought nobody was watching. All right, so for Tesla's a little tricky, all right, guys. Not gonna lie, but the level to watch on Friday, let's see, January 27th, or even for earnings and Friday, was this 850, right? So you see how this was created resistance now. It was a support before. So if we zoom out, I think it bounced there twice. So yeah, there's a support here, and then it bounced there again, and then it broke under it with the earnings fell. All right. So now it became a resistance there, broke through it for earnings, and then we retested it and failed again and broke, right? And this one also had that bear flag that most of the stocks have. Now the only thing was the movement was accelerated because of the earnings, right? So bad earnings and it broke the bear flag. So all those stocks that have bear flags, um, earnings goes bad and they're gonna fall down like this. Uh, all right, and even QQQ kind of has a bear flag and SPY. So that's why I'm not too confident with calls right now, but you know, it's looking good for calls, right? Because we have something like this going on all the stocks. Little 1 hour uptrends. All right, so for Tesla, what I can tell you about Tesla is, let me switch this. I can tell you that I'll be interested in this 357 level to see what happens there. I'm thinking it could break. So our next 1 hour, um, so either a break or a rejection can create a good move, right? On this one, if you guys trade Tesla, or even if you don't have a big enough account to trade Tesla, um, you guys can look at the other EVs, Lucid, Neo, Rivian. All right, so just keep an eye on Tesla for this level right here, 357. If it can get over 357, then the next 1 hour resistance is all the way up here at 950, right? I'm not saying it's going to go all the way to 950, but it very well could. All right, it's Tesla. Tesla moves pretty wild. All right, so if it crosses this level, expect to move much higher, in my opinion. And this is going off the earnings, right? The post earnings plays, right? This is what I like to look at post earnings. A lot of people like to play earnings, but that's just asking for failure, right? The other thing that I'm seeing on this chart is an inverse head and shoulders, right? So if this does break up, this is going to be a good move um, from here. So let's see. Yeah, so this, I'm thinking if it breaks up, good move, or even if it stays in this general area for like the beginning of the week, something like this, that's gonna create a little squeeze down here that could cause it to go way up. So if it stays around this area up here, definitely looking for calls around this area. Maybe calls or puts. I don't know. We'll see. But I could see those two scenarios playing out. So either a move up through that zone, uh, 857, or a breakdown of that zone. Or not a breakdown, a consolidation around that zone. Uh, to trade, okay. How much do you think good amount to start with? Full trading, full time. Yeah, I think 50K is probably good. Full time. Maybe find another job at night or something. Uh, so you're not that stressed out. Um, my best trades have come when I've got a position that I can manage well. If my position is huge, you get a little stressed out, even being a little more experienced. So if you're newer, a nice position. Like if you're trading, for example, like if you're trading $100, like you don't care, right? Like it's nothing, right? So if you're trading a smaller position and looking for solid setups, I mean 50K is pretty good, I would say. Not full time yet. I'm really bad at stopping out of my positions until I start honoring my stops. I think I'll be a better trader. Yeah. Uh, yeah, that's one thing you guys really got to do. So like here, let's say I played Tesla for puts on this one, right? So I'm trying to fish this level right here, uh, 857. Okay. If this breaks over it convincingly, with volume, probably I would be looking at this on the 5 minute. Um, so something like this. You see how it broke out from this previous resistance? Sometimes it does this little fake out. And it's okay to get out right here and like reevaluate. So I would have that first stop. So let me erase this line. So this would be my stop loss. For example, if I had been playing this for puts, right, based on that level that I talked about earlier, fish that level, buy puts, and like for Tesla, you got to give wiggle room because it's a beast of a stock. All right, but it's okay to like stop out here and be like, oh shit, it's going back down for puts, right? But what you got to remember, guys, is stocks never go up straight up, right? Up or down. You always got to remember that even if we do this move and let's say you stop out, there's always going to be a second chance, right? It needs to, for a good move, that's why I always mention this like in every video, and I'm pretty sure it's boring, but it's like the basics and it'll help you so much. Um, every good move needs to have this pattern, right? So like for a good bear move, this pattern needs to occur on every time frame. So 1 minute, right? Look at this. Let me go right back to the spot. Check this out. All right, 1 minute. It broke through and then it failed, right? Broke through and then it came back and retested and it failed, right? And then you say, oh crap, I missed it. No, you didn't because you're barely on the 1 minute. Like if you're trying to catch puts, then you go to the 5 minute. You know there's going to be a 5 minute, uh, 5 minute, the same thing, right? So the 5 minute now rejected, right? As well. You zoomed out and now this would be the real, where the real move is going to start at the 5 minute. So guys, honor your stops. You always get a second chance. And in the stock market, there's like hundreds of these chances every day. So don't be like, oh, I missed something. That like there's chances every day to catch something. That's what I would tell you about your stops. Um, hopefully that made a little sense. Might have gone through that quickly. So that's about it, guys. Just tightening range on QQQ, looking for that to break Monday or Tuesday. Watch for AMD, Google, PayPal. Did we go through PayPal? PayPal, same thing, tightening range. That's going to break with the earnings. Before earnings, you guys can do the same thing. Short the top of the range, calls on the bottom of the range. That's been working. And that's it, guys. That's all I have. AMD has a double bottom at the 0.38. I'd be looking for some kind of a move there to the upside, I think. Well, downside, I think downside, guys. Downside initially for AMD. So we've got this and then another downside and then maybe catch calls down here at 104, 105. And definitely stop out at 100. All right, guys, that's all I got for today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, comment, whatever, just so I know that, people are watching. And I'm not just talking to myself here for 45 minutes. All right, guys. Thanks and good luck tomorrow.